lives for the sake of our motherland. Therefore their country shall fill an honored grave, for glory lights the soldier's tomb, and beauty weeps the brave. Ladies and gentlemen, let us observe a minute of silence in remembrance of the fallen war heroes who sacrificed their lives for the sake of our motherland. The culture of Sri Lanka is portrayed by diverse lenses of musical instruments, dance styles and rhythmic movements. This island nation is blessed with heritage, rich dance and traditional culture. This island nation is blessed with heritage, rich dance and traditional culture. You are about to witness. This island nation is blessed with heritage, rich dance and traditional culture. You are about to witness a dance synchronization of Kandyan and Eastern dancing styles. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome on stage the police student officers, cadet officers, and day scholars of the Faculty of Criminal Justice, KTU, to welcome you with the cultural dance. Memories of the conference will be a good start for the future. Good morning. The lessons learned are always driving force for the times ahead of us. Ladies and gentlemen, let me now respectfully invite on stage Professor R. Tilagaraj, President, Asian Criminological Society, to... Ladies and gentlemen, let me now respectfully invite on stage Professor R. Tilagaraj, President, Asian Criminological Society, to deliver the conference summary. Yes. Yeah.
Test one, check.
Ladies and gentlemen, next is the guest speech by the founding president of the Asian Criminological Society, Professor Jane Hong Liu. To introduce Professor Liu, it is with respect that I invite on stage Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Professor Sanat Dhammik. Thank you, sir. Entire thing. අනිත් ටිකත් එක්ක මට පොඩ්ඩක් ඊට පස්සේ යා මට දැන් අර ඊට පස්සේ මගේ ටිකත් එක්ක පටලලා වෙන්න. In this endeavor, we were privileged to have 130.
ඔය කරාද? තව එන්නවද? මෙහෙම. මෙහෙම හැරෙන්න ඕනේ. හරිනේ? මොකද වෙන්න ඕනේ? ඔව් සර් පොඩි මේකයි. හරිනේ?
areas such as criminology, victimology, criminal procedure, and etc. This endeavor, we were privileged to have 132 participants. 32 participants from across Asia and other parts of the world. The deliberations made in the past 2 days by eminent scholars and practitioners certainly transformed the conference into a timely intellectual academic dialogue, enhanced with practical value in the field of criminal justice towards diverse areas such as criminology. In this endeavor, we were privileged to have 132 participants. This endeavor, we were privileged to have 132 participants from across Asia and other parts of the world. The deliberations made in the past 2 days by eminent scholars and practitioners certainly transformed the conference into a timely intellectual academic dialogue, enhanced with practical value in the field of criminal justice towards diverse areas such as criminology, penology, victimology, criminal procedure, and etc. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing. They for their country died, shall fill an honored grave. Shall fill an honored grave. For glory lights the soldier's stone. For glory lights the soldier's stone. And beauty leaves the brave. Ladies and gentlemen, let us observe a minute of silence in remembrance of the fallen warriors who sacrificed their lives for the sake of our mother. Thank you. Please take your seats. The culture of Sri Lanka is portrayed by diverse lenses of musical instruments, dance styles and rhythmic movements. This island nation is blessed with heritage, rich dance and traditional culture. You are about to witness a dance synchronization of Kandyan and Eastern dancing styles. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome on stage 20 student officers, cadet officers, and day scholars of the Faculty of Criminal Justice, leading you to welcoming you with a cultural dance. Members of the conference will be a good start for the future. The lessons learned are always a driving force for the times ahead of us. Ladies and gentlemen, now let me now respectfully invite on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, let me now respectfully invite on stage Professor R. Tilagaraj, President, Asian Criminological Society, to deliver the conference summary. Ladies and gentlemen, next is the guest speech by founding President of the Asian Criminological Society, Professor Jane Hong Liu. Ladies and gentlemen, next is the guest speech by founding President of the Asian Criminological Society, Professor Jane Hong Liu. To introduce Professor Liu, it is with respect that I invite on stage Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Professor Sanat Damodar. Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to call upon the President of the Asian Criminological Society, Professor R. Tilagaraj, Professor R. Tilagaraj, to wrap up the conference. Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to call upon the President of the Asian Criminological Society,
for the motherland forever. A dictum engraved on the coat of arms of the eminent personality, late Prime Minister Right Honourable Sir John Kotelawala, would become the founding cornerstone of the prestigious General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University. Nestled in the heart of Ratmalala, Sri Lanka, the university, a beacon of defence-related higher education, was a labour of love for the General, whose life's work was to protect his country and entice thousands of others to do so. In the beginning, the General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University, now known as the KDU, was conceived as a tri-service academy and was referred to as the KDA. The academy at the time was tasked with upholding the roles of the three armed forces. Graduates belonging to each military discipline were skilled with the knowledge to effectively coordinate on ground, at sea and in air. With the Sir John Kotelawala Defence Academy Amendments Act, the Academy was empowered with the right to award degrees of its own. With the renaming in 2007 as the General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University, the Academy commenced its transformation to be a fully fledged university, becoming the only establishment of its nature to impart defence, diplomacy and security-related education in Sri Lanka. The university, with its world-class standards, systematic innovation in line with global practices, and local and international student body, places emphasis on the unification of fundamental ideas. These pillars have world over been successful in the development of countries, their defense mechanisms, and enhancing the civilian workforce. With the discipline of a military training establishment and the commitment for knowledge dissemination, KDU not only provides a platform for those who want to contribute to national security and development of one's country, but it also imparts high-quality education in an array of disciplines such as engineering, law, medicine, management, social sciences and humanities, allied health sciences, built environment and special sciences, computing and IT, technology, criminology and police science. In its forward march of 4 decades, the KDU has produced alumni who have made brave sacrifices for the security and the territorial integrity of the nation, and earned gallantry awards for serving the country with distinction. Many amongst them have made the supreme sacrifice for the motherland. Since the end of the war, those who pass out from the KDU operate in the tri-services and elsewhere as disciplined and committed leaders who continue to serve the national interests of the country. The KDU is home to multiple faculties and disciplines that empower and provide a range of choice to both tri-service office cadets and day scholars. Day scholars whose focus is not to pursue a military career are also able to learn on campus while truly understanding the dedication of their counterparts, the tri-service office cadets and police officers. This leads to a harmonious environment between civilians and the military, both on and off the campus, due to their shared experiences at the KDU. Addressing national issues with brain drain, the KDU offers Sri Lankan youth an opportunity to take on fields of study that would have previously been sought out in other countries. The benchmarks set within the university continue to be on par with international standards, with foreign students making up a significant part of the student body. This, along with multiple collaborations with global educational bodies, result in a multicultural, global experience on campus, and also ensures a significant contribution to the foreign currency reserves of the country.
As officer cadets, we get an opportunity to interact with their scholars and to create a great bond between them while amplifying our level of motivation and makes learning more enjoyable.
I myself is experiencing a diverse range of extracurricular activities that is offered by the General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University, ranging from Rotaract to Toastmasters, Leo to mooting. We have a diverse range of these extracurricular activities, from degree programs that offer certain clubs and societies, and also to dance clubs and certain fun-related clubs and societies where both cadets, day scholars could actively participate with it.
The notable Faculty of Allied Health Sciences, FAHS, was incepted in November 2012. For the motherland forever. A dictum engraved on the coat of arms of the eminent personality, late Prime Minister Right Honourable Sir John Kotelawala, would become the founding cornerstone of the prestigious General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University. Nestled in the heart of Ratmalala, Sri Lanka, the university, a beacon of defence-related higher education, was a labour of love for the General, whose life's work was to protect his country and entice thousands of others to do so. In the beginning, the General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University, now known as the KDU, was conceived as a tri-service academy and was referred to as the KDA. The academy at the time was tasked with upholding the roles of the three armed forces. Graduates belonging to each military discipline were skilled with the knowledge to effectively coordinate on ground, at sea and in air. With the Sir John Kotelawala Defence Academy Amendment Act, the Academy was empowered with the right to award degrees of its own. With the renaming in 2007 as the General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University, the Academy commenced its transformation to be a fully fledged university, becoming the only establishment of its nature to impart defence, diplomacy and security-related education in Sri Lanka. The university, with its world-class standards, systematic innovation in line with global practices, and local and international student body, places emphasis on the unification of fundamental ideas. These pillars have world over been successful in the development of countries, their defense mechanisms, and enhancing the civilian workforce. With the discipline of a military training establishment and the commitment for knowledge dissemination, KDU not only provides a platform for those who want to contribute to national security and development of one's country, but it also imparts high-quality education in an array of disciplines such as engineering, law, medicine, management, social sciences and humanities, allied health sciences, built environment and special sciences, computing and IT, technology, criminology, and police science. In its forward march of 4 decades, the KDU has produced alumni who have made brave sacrifices for the security and the territorial integrity of the nation, and earned gallantry awards for serving the country with distinction. Many amongst them have made the supreme sacrifice for the motherland. Since the end of the war, those who pass out from the KDU operate in the tri-services and elsewhere as disciplined and committed leaders who continue to serve the national interests of the country. The KDU is home to multiple faculties and disciplines that empower and provide a range of choice to both tri-service office cadets and day scholars. Day scholars whose focus is not to pursue a military career are also able to learn on campus while truly understanding the dedication of their counterparts, the tri-service office cadets and police officers. This leads to a harmonious environment between civilians and the military, both on and off the campus, due to their shared experiences at the KDU. Addressing national issues with brain drain, the KDU offers Sri Lankan youth an opportunity to take on fields of study that would have previously been sought out in other countries. The benchmarks set within the university continue to be on par with international standards, with foreign students making up a significant part of the student body. This, along with multiple collaborations with global educational bodies, result in a multicultural, global experience on campus, and also ensures a significant contribution to the foreign currency reserves of the country.
As officer cadets, we get an opportunity to interact with their scholars and to create a great bond between them while amplifying our level of motivation and makes learning more enjoyable.
I myself is experiencing a diverse range of extracurricular activities that is offered by the General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University, ranging from Rotaract to Toastmasters, Leo to mooting. We have a diverse range of these extracurricular activities, from degree programs that offer certain clubs and societies, and also to dance clubs and certain fun-related clubs and societies where both cadets, day scholars could actively participate with it.
The notable Faculty of Allied Health Sciences, FAHS, was incepted in November 2012. The undergraduate courses it offers in nursing, physiotherapy, pharmacy, medical laboratory sciences, and radiography are chosen by a majority of civil students, including foreigners, military personnel, and lateral entry students from the Ministry of Health. Another milestone achievement for KDU was the completion of the University Hospital. While it is, at the core, a teaching hospital in line with the overall goal of the university, it also provides access to the medical needs of the public. It is a hospital with ultra-modern facilities and cutting-edge technology. Providing around-the-clock emergency and trauma care and specialized treatment of diseases of all the branches of medicine. With the increasing demand for KDU degree programs, a second campus was built in Suryawada to encourage the thousands of students who were in search of an education that harnessed their commitment to their country. KDU accepted the brave challenge of becoming pioneers and establishing not only the Faculty of Computing, but also initiating the Faculty of Built Environment and Spatial Sciences from scratch.
In my view, what makes KDU stand out is the ability to find the right level of balance and the priority that it gives for sports and the balance in terms of extracurricular activities and academics. I myself, being the vice captain of the KDU football team and a state-level hockey player, have understood that the opportunities that KDU provides for sports ranging from rugby, rowing to outdoor sports and also indoor sports in terms of squash, badminton and table tennis. The key individualities and characteristics as sportsmen not just helped us within the university, but also beyond the life of university.
Today, the university continues to be considered the highest seat of learning for tri-service officers in Sri Lanka. Its significant contribution to tri-service education during the war, and now as the country develops with the rest of the world, is a success story in itself. With its strength being in the alumni who continue to uphold a motto for over 4 decades.
KDU provides officer cadets with the finest essence of military training and discipline, and it also gives us the opportunity to work with our civilian counterparts. This creates a fine balance between the moral and academia, which helps in the grooming of knowledgeable gentlemen officers who will serve for the motherland forever.
The university has long been a reflection of the country and its youth. Growing with the changing priorities of the nation, adapting to a new normal, and expanding to accommodate more successors. The university and all its staff and students are a testament to the will of Sri Lankans who engage in work that adds value to their lives and the world they live in. Discipline, education and honor are the guiding principles at KDU. And as each student passes out of the campus, they carry these strong traits out into the world, making ripples wherever they go.
The General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University, known as KDU, is a prestigious learning academy for both cadet officers and private citizens that has through the years excelled and become a resounding success. Today, the university consists of 9 faculties, which includes the medical faculty, founded to expand the ranks of medical personnel with military experience, and the Faculty of Allied Health Sciences, which was established in 2012. The construction of a university teaching hospital was therefore a natural progression, and today, an 814-bed, ultra-modern, well-equipped, technologically advanced hospital graces the serene 15-acre land area in Verahara. Declared open by His Excellency President Maithripala Sirisena on 21st May 2017, the hospital is a tribute to the hard work and tireless service of the motherland's war heroes who are part of the University Hospital KDU family. The hospital began its operations by registering its first patient in a historically poignant moment, and since then, the hospital continues to serve the public with the diligent love and care that has become the hallmark of UHKDU. The hospital multi-complex houses several buildings, including those accommodating the hospital staff, the hotel for family members of patients, and the diverse departments of the hospital itself. The hospital boasts of facilities, state-of-the-art equipment, systems and treatment options that are unmatched in Sri Lanka and are in fact few and far between even in the region.
The main objective of this hospital is to train a wide spectrum of healthcare professionals, both undergraduates and postgraduates.
The pneumatic logistic system is one such advanced transportation system that enables samples of blood, tissue, medicine and other such material to be transported across the entire hospital without the use of human hands.
arrival of the chief guest, the Chief Justice of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, His Lordship Honorable Jayanta Jayasuriya, President's Council, the 47th Chief Justice of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka. Ladies and gentlemen, may we request you all to please rise from your seats. Ayubowan, Wanakam, warm greetings from Colombo, Sri Lanka. Jeremy Bentham once said, I quote, "The sad truth is that it is the greatest happiness of the greatest number that is the measure of right and wrong." I unquote. This is the pinnacle of the criminal justice system. A very pleasant morning to all of you. His Lordship, the Chief Justice of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, Honorable Jayanta Jayasuriya, President's Council, Secretary to the Ministry of Defense, General Kamal Gunaratna, WWE, RWP, RSP, USP, NDC, PSC, Vice Chancellor of KDU, Rear Admiral Dhammika Kumara, VSV, USP, PSC, Founding President, Asian Criminological Society, Professor Jiang Hong Liu, President, Asian Criminological Society, Professor R. Tilagaraj, their Lordships of the Supreme Court and Court of Appeal, Honorable Justices of the High Courts, members of the Judiciary and the Attorney General's Department, heads of departments, Professor John Braithwaite, academic and administrative staff of KDU, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We warmly welcome you all to the closing ceremony of the 14th Asian Criminology Conference 2023, jointly organized by Asian Criminological Society and the Faculty of Criminal Justice of General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University, under a timely and decisive theme, Crime and Criminal Justice, Sustainable Development, Peace and Security in Asia. On this day of culmination, we believe that the last 48 hours that passed by were indeed a time that fostered intellectual dialogue and further the necessities of the criminal justice system.
In this endeavor, we were privileged to have 132 participants from across Asia and other parts of the world. The deliberations made in the past 2 days by eminent scholars and practitioners certainly transformed the conference into a timely intellectual dialogue enhanced with practical value in the field of criminal justice towards diverse areas such as criminology, penology, victimology, criminal procedure, and etc.
KDU, since its beginning, has been rooted in its values and beliefs of our forefather that brought forth this prestigious seat of learning, transforming it to the times ahead of us. Siya Ratatamai Kavadat, meaning for the motherland forever, is our motto. And now let us pay tribute and respect to KDU. Ladies and gentlemen, to commence the proceedings, please rise for the KDU anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing.
They for their country die, shall fill an honored grave, for glory lights the soldier's tomb, and beauty weeps the brave. Ladies and gentlemen, let's observe a minute of silence in remembrance of the fallen war heroes who sacrificed their lives for the sake of our motherland. Thank you. Please take your seats. The culture of Sri Lanka is portrayed by diverse lenses of musical instruments, dance styles, and rhythmic movements. This island nation is blessed with heritage, rich dance, and traditional culture. You are about to witness a dance synchronization of Kandyan and Eastern dancing styles. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome on stage police student officers, cadet officers, and day scholars of the Faculty of Criminal Justice, KDU, to welcome you with a cultural dance. Thank you.
Next on the agenda is the welcome remarks by the Vice-Chancellor. It is with respect that I cordially invite on stage the Vice-Chancellor of KDU, Rear Admiral Dhammika Kumara, to welcome you all at this prestigious event.
The Chief Guest, the Chief Justice, Your Lordship, Jayanta Jayasuriya PC, Secretary, Ministry of Defence, General Kamal Gunratna, WWV, RWP, RSP, USP, NDC, PSC, their Lordships of Supreme Court and Court of Appeal, Honorable Justice of High Courts, members of Judiciary and Attorney General Department, Professor R. Thakaraj, President, Asia Criminological Society, distinguished Professor John Braithwaite, Professor Liu, founding President of ACS, executive members of the ACS, eminent speakers, distinguished invitees, international participants to the conference, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Defense and Administration, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academics, Deans of Faculties, Directors, Academia, Officers of Triforces and Department of Police, Administrative Staff of KDU, dear students and other distinguished invitees. Very good morning to all of you. Today, in this lovely morning, I am delighted and very much privileged to stand before you to officially welcome you all for the final day and closing ceremony of the 14th Asian Criminology Conference 2023. This is a unique gathering of some of the brightest minds in the field of criminology and criminal justice. We are truly delighted to have you here today, representing diverse backgrounds and perspectives, all with a shared passion for understanding, addressing, and preventing crimes while promoting peace, security, and sustainable development in our societies. Ladies and gentlemen, at the very outset, let me have the honor to welcome our chief guest for the closing ceremony, Chief Justice, His Lordship Jayanta Jayasuriya PC, to grace this important occasion. We as the hosting university extend our heartfelt gratitude for accepting our invitation and being present here. Your Lordship's presence in this conference made us proud and added a value to the deliberations, and we are waiting to hear your insightful remarks in your keynote speech. Also, I have the distinct honor to welcoming the guest speaker today, Professor Jayan Hodliu, a founding president of Asian Criminological Society. He is with us over the last 2 days, and we are extremely grateful to you for accepting our invitation and honoring us with your presence to deliver the guest speech at the closing ceremony of the Asian Criminology Conference 2023. We are looking forward to listen to your words of wisdom. I also have the honor of welcoming the Secretary of Defense, General Kamal Gunratna, who is the chair of the Board of Management of KDU, as the special guest. Sir, your presence is very much valued to us, and I acknowledge your guidance and support extended to us to organize this conference in this magnitude to a greater success. Let me extend a warm welcome to one of the special guests present here, Professor John Braithwaite, who has delivered one of the keynote addressers in the opening session of this conference. Sir, your thought-provoking and intellectual speech kept this year's conference in high note, and your valuable and rare presence made this event more significant. I also welcome all the distinguished guests of His Lordships of Supreme Court and Court of Appeal, Honorable Justices of High Courts, members of Judiciary and Attorney General Department, head of departments, senior officers, and all other members of the Board of Management present here to this significant event in KDU, where your presence made us proud and honored. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also welcome current President and all the members of ACS, academics, scholars, presenters who have presented papers at the plenary and other technical sessions, and all other distinguished invitees, conference participants, and students joining this event physically as well as on cyberspace. As the Vice Chancellor of the KDU, I wholeheartedly appreciate your valuable presence in this occasion. As the hosting university for this historical event, it is with profound satisfaction that I announce the culmination of a very successful academic exercise with this closing ceremony, which I would leave a golden mark in the history of KDU. Today we are glad that KDU has firmly established its footprints as a unique higher education model in the world and especially in Sri Lanka. General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University's steady growth, quality of its output and its popularity as a higher education institute in Asia are evident as for the second consecutive year, KDU has been ranked high in the latest Times Higher Education Impact ranking in 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, the recognition KDU has secured internationally has been established today. With this intellectual dialogue, where academic communities across the globe have joined hands to seek viable solutions for the most contemporary issues of criminal justice. In addition, KDU has set goals for stakeholders in criminal justice in Sri Lanka by introducing novel degrees in this field, thereby opening new gateways for them to play professional roles in the country's criminal justice system. Faculty of Criminal Justice KDU has shouldered this challenge with high academic matter. We have built strong partnership with the departments of police and the prisons to cater for this national mission. Dear respected audience, criminology at its core is the pursuit of understanding the complexities of human behavior. Research in criminology and associated areas is of paramount importance for crime prevention with the recent evaporation of novel trends in crime of non-traditional nature. We also need to realize the recent tendency of countries to engage in international crimes like aggression over less powerful countries. Ladies and gentlemen, today there are participants from the 15 countries who have joined hands with us. We hope that the research content presented at the 14th Criminology Conference delivered benefits for those nations too. Hence, this conference is more than just a meeting. It is a convergence of ideas and expertise aimed at shaping a better future. Our shared vision is to create a world where criminal justice serves as a cornerstone of sustainable development and lasting peace. Over the last 2 days, we have had a packed agenda that spanned the entire spectrum of these critical areas. Renowned experts and visionaries have been with us. Among them, we are privileged to have Professor John, a distinguished figure in criminology, who shared his groundbreaking insights and experiences along with His Excellency Mohan Piris, joined online. I am certain that in our quest of knowledge and progress, all the participants have engaged in thought-provoking discussions and forged new connections that can lead to meaningful collaborations. Your contributions, both in sessions and during informal conversations, will be driving force behind the success of this conference. As such, we at KDU take great pride in your contribution to fortifying the research ethos within the nation and in transforming towards result-oriented approaches or solutions to real-world challenges in our respective domains, which in my opinion is an essential priority at this juncture. As a learning hub, our engagement in global collaborative research endeavors is increasing. We take delight in fostering both local and international research and academic connections that will amplify the exploration of novel insight across the various fields and facilitate their widespread distribution. As we explore the latest development in criminological research, innovative approaches to criminal justice, and strategies for sustainable development, let us not forget the ultimate goal is to create a world where peace and security flourish. Ladies and gentlemen, now I must place on record, we are indeed thankful to the Asian Criminological Society for placing confidence in KDU and keeping a milestone in their journey with us. I believe that we could join hands for further goals in area of criminal justice in future. I acknowledge the contribution made by them, instrumental in advancing the field of criminology, criminal justice, and security. Today, the ACS has played a pivotal role in bridging the gap between theory and practice in our mission to build safer and more just societies. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's conference committee has strived to present a high-quality conference despite of significant constraints. I appreciate their efforts and the support extended from all quarters, which made the Asian Criminology Conference 2023 a resounding success in terms of achieving its objectives. Let me conclude by once again welcoming our chief guest, the guest speaker, and all the other distinguished invitees. I convey my congratulations to all the researchers who presented their research papers yesterday and day before. Finally, let me express my heartfelt thanks to the chairman of the conference committee, Professor Jeeva Niriyalla, and other members of the team for the tireless hours, days, and weeks you spent to see this important event with an immensely successful conclusion. I hope the links and the relationship forged through the ACS 2023 delivers better outcomes in terms of sustainable development, peace, and security in Asia. Let us go forward, believing in ourselves and in our collective potential to reach that target sooner than later. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, let me wind up by thanking once again all the distinguished personalities for being present throughout the conference, endorsing this worthy event. Thank you and have a fruitful day ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Memories of this conference will be a good start for the future. The lessons learned are always driving force for the times ahead of us. Ladies and gentlemen, let me now respectfully invite on stage Professor R. Tilagaraj, President, Asian Criminological Society, to deliver the conference summary.
Good morning. His Excellency, the Supreme Court Judge, other lordships, dignitaries, delegates, my dear students, I am so happy to present before you a summary of the conference of this 14th Asian Criminological Conference. The Asian Criminological Society and the General Sir John Kotelawala Defense University jointly organized the 14th Asian Criminology Conference at KDU premises from 27th to 29th October 2023. The theme of the conference was Crime, Criminal Justice, Sustainable Development, Peace, Security in Asia. The abstracts were categorized under 15 sub-themes. They are crime trends and issues, crime prevention and control, sustainable development towards peace and security, reforms in police, judiciary and corrections, technology-based crimes, alternative dispute resolutions, justice for children, women and other vulnerable groups, victim justice and services, human rights and criminal justice, retributive justice and restorative justice, crime and its relations to politics, crime and media, community-based policing and corrections, police-public relationship developments in Asian criminology. On all these themes, we could receive very good papers, particularly from the young scholars. Most of the themes are centered around the theme of the conference, peace and security in Asia. And above all, I would like to appreciate the organizers to have in the beginning Professor John Braithwaite. He spoke about peace building. And all through he is not only teaching restorative justice, doing research, but practicing peace building. Different parts of the world. I appreciate the excellent speech delivered by the senior judges, Supreme Court judges of Sri Lanka. I wonder, I told yesterday in our board meeting, this conference is starting a new trend. We talk a lot, not only bringing the academia, but also the criminal justice practitioners. Sir, among all the conferences, we completed 13 conferences, and this conference is something immemorable because, we talk a lot that bringing together academia, the criminologist and criminal justice most of the time. But this is what happened very much really in this conference. You were delivered an excellent learner speeches that will be inspiring the scholars here all through. Because the theme whether it is the students who spoke about restorative justice, many papers, and crimes against women and children, and also from John Braithwaite to all the speeches by the learned judges, the attorney generals, and other expert, the chairman of the Victim Justice Program in Sri Lanka, really wonderful, useful, inspiring. Because, again, as I told you, these are centered around the theme of peace and security. Asia is the land of, Lord Buddha, Mahatma Gandhi. And one of the students from China spoke about Confucianism, the ingredients of restorative justice, peaceful. And this topic is vital. And we, the Asian criminologists, tell the world that peace and security alone, the non-violence alone will prevail forever. Otherwise, it will not end up violence lead to violence. What is happening in the world? And some of the papers brought to light how the children, young children, are exploited sexually and how they are all abused in the wars. You might have seen in the field of war a child coming crying with the books. Are we really civilized, or are we going back to atavism? This is the situation. I think this conference will bring into light really the many learnings which should go to the different parts of the world. And this conference really a wonderful theme we have selected. Really we discussed, a dialogue was going on in a lot in this presentations, and immediately after the presentation of the learned judges, followed by questions raised. And apart from that, we had a research papers awards, the best research paper awards, to inspire the students, to motivate the students that in the future there will be good researchers in Asian countries. They also presented, and we have selected the best papers also. Totally there are 121 papers presented by the scholars, eminent scholars, students, and there are from 15 countries they represented. Really, this is a wonderful and participative conference from all over the world, not only from Asia. I am so thankful and grateful to the team of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Jiva, and all others for giving us an opportunity to participate in this wonderful conference in the annals of Asian Criminology Conference. You have made a mark, and it is immemorable one. Once again, I thank you all for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching the pinnacle moment on the agenda, which is the keynote speech by the chief guest of the day, His Lordship, Honorable Jayanta Jayasuriya, President's Council. To introduce His Lordship, Jayanta Jayasuriya, President's Council, let me invite on stage the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Defense and Administration, Brigadier Chintaka Vikramasinghe.
Distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you. It's my honor and privilege to introduce the chief guest and the keynote speaker of the closing ceremony of the 14th Asian Criminology Conference 2023. Honorable Chief Justice, His Lordship Jayanta Jayasuriya PC, was appointed as the 47th Chief Justice of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka in April 2019. Having passed the final examination at the Sri Lanka Law College with honours, His Lordship was called to the bar on 26 September 1982. He joined the Attorney General's Department in November 1983 as a State Counsel and held the appointments of Senior State Counsel, Deputy Solicitor General, Additional Solicitor General, and Senior Additional Solicitor General. He was appointed as a President's Counsel in March 2012. In February 2016, His Lordship was appointed as the 29th Attorney General of the Attorney General Department of Sri Lanka and held the same appointment until his elevation as the Chief Justice. His Lordship holds the distinction of being the 6th Attorney General to be appointed as the Chief Justice of Sri Lanka. He served as the trial attorney in the United Nations International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia, ICTY, from September 2001 to August 2004, and also for Rwanda, ICTR, from November 2000 to August 2001. He was also an examiner and visiting lecturer of the Sri Lanka Law College and the General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University. Also, His Lordship was a member of the Sri Lanka Child Protection Authority and a consultant of the Financial Intelligence Unit of the Central Bank. His Lordship is a Commonwealth Scholar, and he was awarded the Best Prosecutor 2012 by the International Association of Prosecutors in International Fellow of the National Attorneys General Training and Research Institute, United States of America. He was also awarded a Master of Philosophy degree from the University of Hong Kong for the thesis, The Fair Hearing Guarantee under the Article 14 of the ICCPR and the common law principles governing the conduct of a criminal trial, identical or overlapping the Hong Kong experience. Without further ado, let me very respectfully invite Honorable Chief Justice, His Lordship Jayantha Jayasuriya PC, the Chief Justice of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, to deliver the keynote address. Over to you, Your Lordship.
Thank you for that introduction. My sister and brother justices of the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka, President of the Court of Appeal and other judges of the Court of Appeal, Vice Chancellor of the KDU or Sir John Kotelawala Defence University, Secretary, Ministry of Defence, the Chairman of the Asian Criminology Society, the founder member, and other members of the academia of different universities, Professor Jiva Niriyalla, the chairperson of the organizing committee of this conference, researchers, delegates, students, and distinguished invitees. Good morning to all of you. I wish to thank Professor Niriyalla and the organizing committee for the invitation extended to me to join with you all this morning. Over the last 2 days, you all enjoyed the privilege to be part of this great endeavor. The Asian Criminological Society, as part of its engagements, opted to give the opportunity to host this great event to one of the prime higher education institutes in Sri Lanka, Sir General Kotelawala Defence University. It is an honor to this great institution, as well as to Sri Lanka. I am sure that the foreign delegates will reach their homes filled with great memories of their stay, as well as the knowledge they gained through the wealth of experience and expertise shared by the resource persons. The theme under which the discussion proceeded over the last 2 days reflects several key areas which have direct influence on the entire society. Crime, criminal justice, sustainable development, peace and security have a great impact on the lives of all of us, irrespective of our individual status, professions, or occupations that we are engaged in. The list of areas and subjects under which you all have engaged in discussions reflect that you had the opportunity to listen to experts from those respective areas. Criminology, being a subject which goes beyond the parameters of criminal justice process itself, sometimes may overlap in certain areas with the criminal justice process. I will make an attempt to focus on few matters that have common interest to both these areas. Criminal behavior among members of the society had been prevalent from the birth of human race. Is a statement that would neither be protested nor would surprise anyone. Nevertheless, few pertinent questions in this regard are what is criminal behavior? What is a crime? And what if we don't have the body of laws now we call criminal law or penal laws? In the Urnamu Code, witchcraft, escapades of slaves, and assault were recognized as conduct which would attract punishments. In the Code of Lifista, another version of Sumerian law, it was provided that, I quote, if a man entered the orchard of another and was seized there for stealing, he shall pay 10 shekels of silver, close quote. Babylonian's Code of Hammurabi contained laws relating to murder, assault, theft, etc. In the early stages of Greek civilization, prior to the 7th century BC, criminal law had not existed. When someone was murdered, the victim's family members would usually take the law into their own hands and kill the murderer, resulting in a chain of blood feuds. It was only around 620 BC that Draco, a lawgiver, finally wrote the first laws of ancient Greece. Under his laws, homicide was deemed punishable by exile. There is no doubt coexistence is the key to progress of a society. Mutual respect, altruism, and tolerance are few qualities that would foster an environment of coexistence. However, with the difficulties to maintain such qualities among all members of the society, rulers and states have taken upon themselves the responsibility to draw the line and demarcate the boundaries between certain types of behavior with the objective to protect and preserve a peaceful coexistence among members. The responsibility of maintaining law and order in a society rests with the state. With the codes of criminal behavior being formulated and adopted in early civilizations several centuries ago, penal law has evolved to its present form with the passage of time. Each state has taken upon itself the responsibility to formulate such codes and protect the members of the society in their respective countries. According to William Wilson, criminal law functions as, I quote, society's formal method of social control, close quote, and, quote, sets boundaries both to our behavior and to the power of the state to coerce and punish us, close quote. He describes criminal law as a, I quote, product of human minds. However, the mere existence of codes identifying criminal conduct and setting punitive provisions will not bring in desired results without having clear rules of procedure and evidence. In the civilized world, it is the administration of justice mechanism that takes over the responsibility in deciding whether any person is guilty of the offenses specified in the penal laws. Insufficiency of the mere existence of penal laws to achieve this goal, the peaceful coexistence among members of the society, is well recognized. Code of Criminal Procedure and Evidence Ordinance are pieces of legislation that we always pay attention to, together with the penal law and other legislation. It is a well-settled principle that the state holds the responsibility to establish each and every element of criminal liability by proof beyond reasonable doubt. We all are aware of the principles enunciated by Viscount Sankey in Wilmington case. It is also apt to remind us the subsequent jurisprudence of the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka on Ellenborough dictum. I do not intend engaging in a detailed discussion on this aspect at this point of time. Suffice to flag this development for completeness in this discussion, focusing on the changes that has taken place over the passage of time. In Sri Lanka, the Penal Code, the main statute that recognizes offences and punishment for such offences, had been in force since 1883. With the changes that had taken place from time to time. These changes that were introduced through amendments reflect attempts by the state to address concerns raised in the society during the respective periods of time. One such example would be the changes introduced in the year 1995 and the connected amendments in the subsequent years. These changes were introduced with the objective of enhancing protection to two vulnerable sections in the community, women and children. Through these amendments, a series of new offenses were introduced along with deterrent penalties. In the same context, the amendments brought into the Poisons, Opium and Dangerous Drugs Ordinance in the years 1984 and 1986 demonstrate the legislature's attempt to address a serious social problem which had reached alarming levels and still continuing to grow while causing immense damage to the entire society. It is also pertinent to note that the changes through amendments to existing penal laws have not been confined to introducing new offenses. Instead, changes through amendments have also taken place to remove offenses from the sphere of penal laws, reflecting the thinking of the societies at a given time. Repeal of the provisions relating to criminal defamation marks one such significant change. The call to repeal penal provisions relating to consensual sexual conduct between adults of the same sex is another moot point where different views and opinions exist in the society. In fact, steps to initiate the legislative process through a private member's bill to amend the penal code, the Supreme Court considered the constitutionality of the said bill. In the said determination, the Supreme Court observed, I quote, "It must perhaps be reiterated that the intent of the legislature in enacting the bill is to repeal the laws that make sexual orientation a punishable offense. We must reiterate that this is a matter that comes within the legislative policy of the state, which shall be guided by the provisions of Articles 27 and 75. It is a matter that is within the legislative power of the people, which shall be exercised by Parliament in trust for the people." Close quote. Apart from the changes to the penal code, many offences are created by separate statutes. Bribery and corruption, cybercrime, anti-money laundering and terrorism-related offences are few of such special laws. All these statutes have been introduced at different times with the objective to address concerns raised in such areas in the relevant periods of time. I will not make an attempt to go into each of these areas, but will flag certain unique developments that have taken place in the most recent past. The Anti-Corruption Law, Act number 9 of 2023, among other changes to the existing legal regime, introduced offences relating to bribery of foreign public officials and bribery in the private sector, trading in influence, and offences relating to sporting events into the list of other offences relating to bribery and corruption. These are few examples where the legislature recognized the need to move in and curtail human behavior that causes harm to the entire fabric of the society. In this regard, it is also necessary to acknowledge this process is not left entirely in the hands of any individual country itself. The world community, acting together, influences the individual countries to act within their own jurisdictions and fall in line with the world community to combat criminal behavior that causes harm to societies beyond one's jurisdiction. Examples for this include terrorism, abuse of advancing technology, including computer crimes, financial crimes affecting the world economy, such as money laundering and terrorist financing. In response to these conducts, international communities have brought in conventions such as the United Nations Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime, which aims to combat transnational organized crime by promoting cooperation among states and implementing effective measures to prevent and conduct such criminal activities. Similarly, the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, or commonly known as UNCAC, essentially aims to promote integrity and facilitate international cooperation and technical assistance in the fight against corruption. In fact, in another 2 days' time, the UNCAC will be celebrating its 20th anniversary. It encourages the implementation of measures to prevent money laundering, promote asset recovery, and enhance international cooperation in the prosecution of corrupt individuals, which is increasing at rapid rates. This takes us to another area of importance. Changes that take place with globalization or the entire world becoming a global village brings in new challenges. Challenges that have to be met with a joint effort rather than leaving it in the hands of any individual state. If the efforts are to succeed. In this regard, mutual assistance among states becomes important in all areas, such as the prevention and detection of crime and prosecution of offenders. At certain instances, gathering evidence relating to certain types of offenses become a serious challenge. In the investigation of offenses relating to cyber world, would most of the time face challenges to gather evidence located beyond the own territory of the state within which the offense was committed. Even though the impact of the offense is limited to the country in which the offense was committed. In such instances, lack of commitment by the foreign jurisdictions where evidence is located will impede the success of any prosecution. Therefore, states must collaborate and provide mutual assistance in the investigation and prosecution of crimes, including transnational crimes. This would require the exchange of information, evidence, and the provision of resources to support investigations and legal proceedings. Such mutual assistance is necessary to achieve the ultimate goal of peaceful coexistence among members of the society. Criminal justice mechanisms that are well equipped with the procedural and evidential rules are now further expanded to many other areas such as protection of rights and interests of victims, witnesses, and even the accused. Members of the agencies that are established to perform duties in the criminal justice mechanism and its stakeholders bear the challenge to meet the demands of modern-day mechanisms. With rapid advancements in technology, the victims and witnesses would become vulnerable. Hence, it is necessary to ensure that the rights of victims and witnesses are better protected. It is not only the victims and witnesses who are protected, but also any accused is protected through the rights accorded to him by the law itself. By virtue of Article 13(5) of the Constitution of Sri Lanka, the presumption of innocence is confirmed as a fundamental right in Sri Lanka. Furthermore, Article 13(3) of the Constitution of Sri Lanka guarantees the right to a fair trial, which provides, I quote, "Every person charged with an offense shall be entitled to be heard in person or by an attorney at law at a fair trial by a competent court," close quote. The right to a fair trial was formally recognized in international law even in far back as in 1948 in the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights. The Indian Supreme Court had held, I quote, "Fair trial obviously would mean a trial before an impartial judge, a fair prosecutor, and an atmosphere of judicial calm. Fair trial means a trial in which bias or prejudice for or against the accused, the witnesses, or the cause which is being tried is eliminated. While this is a right that is recognized universally, it is important that it be applied consistently in a manner that is fair to all parties. The ultimate aim of the society is to reduce and eliminate crime. For this purpose, it is not only the witnesses to the crime, but also special witnesses such as experts play a major role in this process. Expert evidence in criminal trials play a crucial role in aiding the court to understand the complex scientific, technical, or specialized information relevant to the case. Expert witnesses are stakeholders in the adjudication process and is an area that has significantly developed over time. Traditionally, the expert witness are individuals with specialized knowledge, training, or expertise in a particular field, and they provide their opinions or interpretations based on their expertise. In Sri Lanka, opinions of experts in proceedings is recognized under Section 45 of the Evidence Ordinance. The role of experts, especially in criminal trials, is crucial as they can analyze and interpret forensic evidence such as DNA, fingerprints, ballistics, or other physical evidence and provide opinions regarding its relevance and significance to the case. They can further be instrumental in assessing the credibility of other evidence or witnesses presented during the trial. Their professional opinions can shed light on the reliability and validity of the evidence presented. This, in turn, would ensure that the court's decisions are based on the most accurate and up-to-date information available. In Sri Lanka, Hokandara murder trial was the first case in which DNA profiling was used. The assassination of Justice Sarath Ambepitiya and Royal Park murder cases are two landmark examples of the cases where DNA profiling was used. In the Royal Park murder case, one of the main items of evidence was interpreting a palm print with blood located at the crime scene. The DNA expert established that the blood belonged to the deceased, and the fingerprint expert established that the palm print had been left by a blood-stained palm and that it belonged to the accused. Thus, it can be deduced that the credibility and qualifications of the expert witnesses are important factors considered by the court in evaluating the probative value of the evidence presented. Thus, in speaking about these elements, this discussion would be incomplete without addressing the impact of ever-evolving technology. As we all are aware, the society is becoming more and more data-centric with increased use of algorithms, artificial intelligence, blockchain, connected devices, CCTV, facial recognition, advanced biometric, and DNA technology. But how would this impact expert opinions in criminal trials? Inevitably, the traditional areas of expert witnesses are now challenged with the advent of science and technology. Technology has significantly expanded the scope of expert evidence in criminal trials by offering new tools and methods for analyzing and presenting complex information. Advanced forensic technologies such as DNA profiling, ballistics analysis, digital forensics, and computer-generated reconstructions have allowed experts to provide more precise and detailed evidence in criminal cases, thus enhancing the accuracy and credibility of expert testimony. Moreover, the advancement of technology has enabled the collection and analysis of large data sets, leading to the development of sophisticated data analysis techniques. Subsequently, they can utilize computer simulations and reenactments to demonstrate the sequence of events or recreate crime scenes. This would aid the court to visualize and comprehend the complex cases scenarios that otherwise may be difficult to explain solely through verbal testimony. In fact, technology has facilitated improved communication between experts and legal teams, since they can now collaborate remotely, share information in real time, and provide immediate feedback, which can streamline the process of preparing and presenting expert evidence in court. Further, technology allows for the digital documentation and presentation of evidence through photographs, videos, and audio recordings. Technological advancements in fields such as forensic pathology, toxicology, and other specialized areas have improved the accuracy and reliability of expert evidence. Authors have described, I quote, bodies of knowledge and robes of expertise under the theme The expert evidence about drugs, gangs, and human trafficking discussed whether a police officer or any other government agency giving evidence would amount to expert evidence. And they concluded, it is important to insist that when police officers, home office civil servants, and others provide expert evidence, they are held to the same standards of reliability and impartiality as other experts. Nevertheless, it is ultimately in the hands of the judge to interpret this evidence presented. This is so regardless of how wide the scope of an expert's role may have become over time. Their role would be limited to a role of assistance. In Mark Anthony Fernando, the Court of Appeal held, I quote, the judge has to decide whether there was a very great antecedent probability of the injury resulting in death as opposed to a mere likelihood. That function cannot be delegated to the expert. The judge is expected to decide this issue assisted by the evidence of the expert, but independently of the opinion expressed by the expert, close quote. Therefore, the duty of the expert is to furnish the judge or jury with the necessary scientific criteria for testing the accuracy of their conclusions, so as to enable the judge or jury to form their own independent judgment by application of these criteria to the facts proved in evidence. The judge should not permit the expert to usurp his functions and therefore ought not to be concluded by the opinion expressed by the expert, but must question the expert in regard to the media grounds and the basis on which the expert has arrived at this opinion. Courts have held, I quote, if such an exercise is observed, then the judge is in a position to educate himself on this matter of science with the assistance of the expert and finally decide the issue independently of the expert's opinion, close quote. With all these in place, to what extent have we succeeded in combating criminal behavior of our own species, the human being? While the penal laws, along with the procedural and evidentiary laws, have developed over time, challenges to combat crime also have evolved simultaneously. Hence, the mere existence of penal laws would be insufficient, and strong enforcement and commitment on part of the states would also be necessary to achieve this goal. More significantly, as we recognized earlier, views as to crime, wrongful behavior, and punishment have changed over time, and the penal laws should be revitalized to meet the challenges of the 21st century society. All in all, while the current criminal justice system appears to be sound, in order to achieve the initial goal of peaceful coexistence among members of the society and to ensure a more inclusive model of criminal justice, it is indeed necessary to have a collective approach both domestically and internationally. Before winding up, let me congratulate the organizing committee of this great event. It is their commitment and dedication that paved the way for all of us to join hands. The Asian Criminological Society can be proud of the quality of their fellow colleagues who are prepared to shoulder responsibilities and deliver to the best of their ability. I wish all success in all your future endeavors. And I thank this great audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Lordship, for those timely and intellectual words that truly inspired the audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, next is the guest speech by the founding president of the Asian Criminological Society, Professor Jane Hong Liu. To introduce Professor Liu, it is with respect that I invite on stage Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Professor Sanath Dhammika.
Good morning, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to introduce you today the distinguished founding president of the Asian Criminology Society, Professor Jing Hong Liu. Professor Liu holds the prestige title of Distinguished Professor at the University of Macau, and his academic journey has been nothing short of remarkable. Professor Liu's education background is the testament to his dedication and passion for criminology. He earned his degree in criminology from the University of Albany, State University, New York, in January 1993. In addition, he obtained a degree in sociology from the same institute in 1990. Furthermore, Professor Liu's academic pursuits led him to attain a degree in philosophy of science from Nankai University, Tianjin, China in 1988. Professor Liu has received numerous awards for his outstanding contribution to the field. Notably, he was honored with the 2016 American Society of Criminology International Division Freda Elder Distinguished International Scholar Award. Additionally, in 2018, he received the Academy of Criminal Justice Science G.O.W. Muller Award for notable contribution to the international criminal justice. Professor Liu's leadership extends beyond accolades. He currently serves as the elected president of the Scientific Commission of the International Society for Criminology, the elected chairman of the General Assembly of the Asian Criminology Society, and as a member of the steering committee of the Cromwell Collaboration's Crime and Justice Group. Notably, he was pivotal as the founding and honorary president of Asian Criminology Society from 2009 to 2015. In realm of academic publishing, Professor Liu's influence is far-reaching. He holds the position of editor-in-chief of the Asian Journal of Criminology. He is also the editor of the Asian Criminology and Criminal Justice. Furthermore, he serves on the editorial board of more than 20 international academic journals, including renowned publications such as the British Journal of Criminology and the other esteemed journals like the Journal of Experimental Criminology. Professor Liu's primary research focuses on comparative criminology and comparative criminal justice. He is widely recognized as a leading figure in the development of Asian criminology, with a significant portion of his research dedicated to the study of crime and justice in Asia and China. Today, Professor Liu has amassed an impressive body of work with over 190 academic publications encompassing books, journal articles, and book chapters. We are privileged to have Professor Jiang Hong Liu with us today, and we look forward to the valuable insight he will share with our community. Now, I invite Professor Liu to address the audience.
Yeah, it's my great honor to be invited to give this speech. First of all, I truly appreciate the support and tremendous amount of input in resources by Defense University. I greatly appreciate the support of the Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, administrative staff, and JIVA and its organizing committee for conducting this important conference. Okay. It is an important conference in such a background as many of our scholars and students, particularly from Asia, being very well aware that compared to what we saw typically in the Western country, right? The dominant theories and the dominant practice are largely coming from a Western origin. However, as I chat with, let's say, Professor Chauhan yesterday, right? People in Asia, criminologists, judges, prosecutors, lawyers in Asia, see so much a big difference here, in practice, in theory, in many cultural understanding in terms of criminology theory. So who is going to take this out, to let the whole world know? I mean, that's the purpose and the mission of Asian Criminological Society. That was why 14 years ago we started this society. Okay, so my lecture is going to come back to the basic concepts. What is criminology? What is Asian criminology? The main idea of Asian criminology. So this is what I'm going to focus on. This is a big topic, but let's be very brief and quick to give us a review of those basic concepts. Okay. First, you can see that criminology originated from the West and grown primarily in the West, and most top criminology journals are in English. But as you can see, there's so many criminology knowledge and criminal justice practice in Asia, and let's see, in India, in Sri Lanka, it's very effective. So where are these knowledge being included in the dominant criminology. So criminology as a science, as a social science, it has the same desire to seek for general knowledge, general human understanding of crime and justice. However, as I just mentioned, the contrast is there's such a huge, a vast cultural variation reflected in the political science, political system, economic system, in many justice arrangements. So this variation actually is in very strong contrast with the seeking of a general knowledge, general pattern. How this conflict be resolved? This is a very important critical question for any science, particularly for criminology. So how this universality that science and social science has been always put as a top mission to seek knowledge growth, to understanding in general human and human justice. How is that universal pursuit of knowledge is in conflict with the wide, vast variation? So this is a challenge I think Asian criminology try to take. Okay, so there are several responses to this challenge. One of the response is just take Western established theory, assume which is universal. As we read Western literature, we often see that happens, right? Let's see a famous theory. When the theorists take their theory, come to, let's say, to India, to China, to Malaysia, to Philippines, right? They collect data and test the theory, find the theory may not fit very well. Then they try to assume some universal understanding of that. Make a little bit adjustment to the data, but not to challenge the fundamentals of the theory. That's one reaction to it. The second reaction is culture-dependent theory. Says all theories are culture-dependent. There's no such a thing like in science. There's a universal theory or universal understanding of human behavior or criminal justice. So these are two most important reactions. The third reaction is that a critical branch, critical understanding of the theory, let's say a famous idea is colonization. See, Western theory colonize the colonies, including India, all this Sri Lanka, right? Therefore, what we need to do as criminologists, as criminal justice scholars, is to decolonize them. Okay, so we take a critical stance, largely, even fundamentally, overthrew everything that Westerners has invented or developed or forced on us. That's a third reaction. But Asian criminology take a very different stance. First of all, we agree with, let's say, colonization understanding, critical scholars, that there is so much vast knowledge and so much invention, justice practice that are very effective, very suitable for the Asian context, has been missed or has been ignored. This is a very major loss of criminology knowledge. We consider that is something that we have to correct. Okay. So in that regard, we're the same as Southern criminologists as other critical traditions. But on the other hand, we also value the tradition, the knowledge invention, the persistent and successful achievements by the Western scholars. We're not saying that all this Western criminology are wrong. We're not saying that. Asian criminology take a crossroad, take such a road that we try to take the challenge to offer a unique solution or a pursuit of that solution. Okay, so that is what Asian criminology mainly is trying to do. First of all, we redefine Asian criminology as the study of crime and justice in the Asian context. See the points, the Asian context is the key word. Okay? So we have to deeply study the Asian context. Like other scholars, they're locally working, digging out a very effective means of what works in Asian context. And we take an approach that is called context-focused approach. So the approach of Asian criminology, we call it context-focused approach. That is, we need to deeply understand the context, the variation, the vast differences between Asia context, between a particular country, its practice, its criminal justice practice, its criminology understanding, criminal behavior understanding. We deeply understand that. We take it out. We show that to the Western conventional criminology discipline. Okay. So with that, Asian criminology established the society and established much of the development over the past 14 years. Okay. In 2009, as many of our scholars very well explained and reviewed, we established Asian Criminological Society. And this idea of Asian paradigm was actually proposed from there on, and a famous scholar, Leon Mozavi, published in 2019, British Journal of Criminology Journal, pointed out that Asian paradigm, how that was proposed. Okay. And then many very famous criminologists have supported the development of Asian criminology. We had a conference, first conference in Macau, and then we had many conferences until today. We're having a conference in Sri Lanka. Okay. And this is the picture of history. We can see many important scholars. We see John Wiswith in there, and we see Jiva, we see Dr. Tilagarash. We see many other scholars coming from 14 countries, including the director of American Society of Criminology, Chris, participating in this conference, established Asian Society of Criminology. Okay. So the concept of Asian criminology, the focus or the paradigm of the Asian criminology has been reviewed. The first of the time, it was in a 2009 article that published in Asian Journal of Criminology. And then later on, many famous scholars have supported Asian criminology. For example, John Biswit, right? Walkley, who was the president of British Society of Criminology, and also a friend of Southern criminologist, and also she has been the editor-in-chief of British Society of Criminology, all made those very important remarks. But I will not read them because there's too many. You can just quickly, review them. And particularly, these criminologists pointed out the importance, role of Asian criminology can play in group criminology as a discipline in general. Okay. So, as I mentioned, one of the most important tasks we're still doing, and our members and our scholars in Asia, and also those around the world doing very well, made great contribution, is to focus on discover, ignored, and missed, either deliberately or accidentally, the major knowledge in crime and justice in Asia contexts. Okay. So, in study crime and justice in Asia, there's a lot of conceptual confusions. One of the conceptual confusion would be, what is Asia? That is a big question. So, but the idea of Asian criminology emphasizes not the boundary, not identification of where is Asia. We emphasize the focus on Asia. So whoever they are from Australia, or they're from Western, from England, or from India, or from China, as long as they study crime and justice in Asia, they are Asian criminologists. That's the idea, that we avoid this confusion that, drawing boundaries. Okay, boundary is something that's always changing. Right? Historically, where is Asia? Some people might see why you are including Australia as Asia. I mean, we can argue that. We have so many evidence that Australian criminologists claim they're part of Asia. So our definition of Asian criminology resolves that issue. Okay. And the approach, as I mentioned, we focus on the context. So we create opportunities, create conditions to help people from around the world, particularly from Asia, who are interested in study crime and justice in Asia, to network here, to get connected, to help with each other. As I mentioned, as I was discussed with John Scott this morning, right? One of the major features of Asian Criminology Conference over the years is that people get connected very well. It's not like you go to American Society of Criminologists, there's 2,000, 3,000 people there, a short paragraph, and people don't eat together. I go there and meet my friends, that's it. Okay, right? But in Asia, one of the major features looks like a very small, but it's very important. We all have shared food together, right? Asian Criminology Society Conference every year has this convention of having, like a meal together, right? So people get to know each other. So the small thing that makes the conference different, okay? So we focus on Asia, and we contribute and gradually form this concept called Asian paradigm. Okay, the Asian paradigm is try to summarize, to build a framework with basic concepts, basic approach, and institutionalization to form such a growing force and establishment about Asian criminology. Okay. So with all this development, right, we have been supported by many famous criminologists, such as John Braithwaite, right, gave us very high remarks and specific help and support, and by our presidents of various generations of presidents and leaders of Asian criminology, including up to today, Dr. Tilagwash, Dr. Jiva, Lhasa, all these people, and Dr. Chohan, Gino from Philippines. We have made great contributions to the growth of Asian criminology. Okay, so how do we develop Asian criminology? One of the key components of criminology or paradigm is its theory. So how do we develop a theory of Asian criminology, right? Now, one of the first steps we emphasize continuity rather than disrupt, erase of all Western traces. That's not Asian criminology, right? We well study, completely understand Western criminology. And then we examine and testing the theory in Asia contexts. And then the second step, we make theoretical adjustment, right? And then try to modify those theories. But that's not the final product of Asian criminology. The last stage that we're currently actually doing a lot of work is to establish theories that really take great insights exist in the Asian context to inform general understanding of criminal behavior, general understanding of criminal justice for the whole world, for the human being. That's the point. That is the idea of eventually what we're pursuing. Okay. In that regard, actually, we made tremendous amount of progress. We have a lot of people making contributions about theoretical ideas in Asian criminology, and Primarily, one of the major ideas was called relational theory, proposed in 2017. And Professor John Braithwaite commented, says, it is the right time in development of development of criminology in Asia. It is time for a new era of criminological theory that was given birth in Asia by Asian scholars. This is such a highly, encouraging statements for us, right? And he continually said, actually that was in 2015, so many years ago, right? He said, I hope, he said, that may be useful for constructing the kind of relational theory of crime control advocated by Liu. Okay. So one of the things we do is comparative study, right? And we have mingled, we have worked together with other famous comparative criminologists around the world, okay? And the other successful embodiment of the Asian paradigm is institutionalization. We have seen and we have visited, in each conference, in each country, we see very established institution of Asian criminology, right? We see, for example, in Philippines, right? Several thousand, I think 20,000, right? Filipino criminologists, right? Because their work, right? They have this association of Filipino criminology, right? It covers all the justice professionals, including judges, prosecutors. You can see this establishment. You can see this institutionalization, right? And also you can see many very successful criminology programs, such as in QUT, right? Queensland University of Technology in Australia, right? And the criminology program in Macau, in Hong Kong, in Taiwan, in China. So this institutionalization of this Asian paradigm idea has been growing and continue. Okay. So in the future, we'll follow the three-stage development. We test the Western theory. I would like to argue that we will not dismiss any human knowledge, human tradition, human creation, achievements in the West. But we emphasize there's so much has been missed, from Asia. So we try to test them. We then try to revise those theories, revise those policy and practice understandings, and enrich this criminology whole discipline with the Asian insights, with the Asian information. And then in the future, currently, as we mentioned, as we hear from our speakers, distinguished leaders, that there's a very great development currently is about digital criminology, right? And in Macau, we have established Center for Empirical Legal Studies. We have gained $5 million of funding to establish labs to take advantage of development in AI technology, machine learning technology. We try to develop, as I mentioned to my friends, that one of the missions we have just set it up for us is to develop a new criminology that is combined, it combines AI technology, big data criminology to develop this new criminology. This is what we try to do at this moment. And also in traditional France, traditional lines of development, we encourage continued understanding, continued development with the conventional methodology to develop, to modify, to improve justice practice and Asian criminology knowledge. Okay, so this is pretty much what I would like to talk about. So in the future, welcome everybody come to Macau to visit our labs, right? To see how do we develop digital criminology today. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for those timely, inspiring words.
Awards have a deeper meaning than just a tangible substance. The awards reflect achievement, joy, intellectual labor, contribution to academic way, and sentimental value. Ladies and gentlemen, now it is time for the presentation of awards for well-deserved personalities. May I now respectfully invite on stage Professor Lata Subramaniam, Executive Committee Member of Asian Criminological Society, to announce the awards. To present the awards, I most respectfully invite on stage the Chief Justice of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, His Lordship, Honorable Jayantha Jayasuriya, President's Council, accompanied by the Vice Chancellor, Rear Admiral Dhammika Kumara, and the Conference Chair, Deshabandhu, Professor Jeeva Niriyalla.
A very good morning to one and all present here, the delegates and the participants. On behalf of the Executive Committee of ACS, General Assembly of ACS, and on behalf of the President of the Asian Criminological Society, I stand here humbly to introduce and also announce the awards on various categories of ACS. And 3 awards are offline, which are decided before the conference. Normally, ACS has a practice of inviting books for the award of Distinguished Book Award every year. And this year, 2023, we have Distinguished Book Award. For the purpose of selecting this, there was a committee which was constituted by the Executive Board of the ACS, and the committee consisted of the chairmanship of Professor Setsuo Miyazawa, who is presently in UC Law, San Francisco, and he was the professor who was specializing in police reforms and judicial reforms in Japan, and he was chairing the award committee. Along with him, we had other 4 members, and one of the members is Professor Stephen Parmentier, who is the Secretary General of International Society of Criminology, and he is also presently teaching in University of Leuven, Belgium, and also University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. So, and other 3 members are Professor John Scott, who is here. He is presently the professor and head of Queensland Institute of Technology. He was also one of the members of the Distinguished Book Award Committee, along with Dr. Lata, myself, and the another member, default member, the president of ACS, Professor Tilakraj. So anonymously, based on the entries, we received a lot of entries for the book award. Normally, the book award for the entries, the call for nominations are done every year prior to 6 months of the conference being held. So the books which had been contributed significantly for the development of criminology are invited for the award, and that book should be published prior to the conference, whichever is happening. For example, for 2024 award, the book should be published in the year 2023. So the committee, after careful examination for the 2023 award of Distinguished Book Award ACS, selected Professor Tian Ma. Professor Tian Ma could not make it over here, and we also tried to connect over online, but due to some technical issues, she could not join here. But the 2023 Distinguished Book Award of ACS goes to Professor Tian Ma. Professor Tian Ma is actually teaching in she's teaching in Montfort University. She's specializing in criminology and border criminology. So this award goes for her book, Contesting Criminology in Post-Lucan China. And the book is published by Springer in the year 2002. So we humbly place this before the presenters, and I request the President ACS to receive the certificate on behalf of Professor Tian Ma, who could not be present here. We also have the Distinguished Book Award, Honorable Mention, and that Honorable Mention, I request Professor Tilakras to stay back. So, the Honorable Mention for the 2023 Distinguished Book Award goes to Ankwi Shen. Ankwi Shen is presently teaching in Northernberg University, and she specializes in migration, trafficking, human rights, and gender justice. So for her book on Women Police in Contemporary China, Gender and Policing, which was published by Routledge in the year 2022, she has been mentioned as a honorable mention of 2023 Distinguished Book Award. May I request Professor Tilakraj to receive the award on her behalf. And the next award for encouraging the young researchers to publish in the journals of various parts of the country or the world, the ACS have introduced Best Paper Award. So this award is specifically for the purpose of some researcher who is of young in nature, who have done their research, who have published their research in a very popular and a reputed journal of criminology or law or sociology, will be the recipient of this award. And for the year 2023, the Best Paper Award goes to Yangxiu Li and Jiangshan Park. So their article on Using Big Data to Prevent Crime, Legitimacy Matters, which is published in the Asian Journal of Criminology by Springers, they will be receiving this award, and I request Professor Tilakraj to receive the award on their behalf too. So now we come to another important award section. Every year in the conference of ACS, we actually encourage the young researchers to present their empirical research paper, and that empirical research paper should have been done in the last 2 years, and it has some criteria, and following the criteria, there will be a panel of judges who will be evaluating their presentations in the conference offline, and for that purpose, this year we received a lot of papers, but considering the empirical in nature and other factors which are relevant to the award, few papers were selected for the purpose of presentation, and we had the presentation of those young researchers yesterday, and they presented on various topics of importance in the field of criminology. The main purpose of this award is to encourage the youngsters to do a lot of empirical research, field-based research, to come out the hidden facts which are in the field of criminology. For example, like dark figures among the victims, or the silent victims, or anything related to the criminology which is known to the elsewhere. So for them to understand the methodology of the research in criminology, we have this particular award instituted from last year. In Gujarat National Law University, we had the first award being presented. In this award session, we have 3 awards, the first award being gold medal, then the silver medal, and the consolation bronze medal. So for this, now we can call upon, those researchers are present here. They would be receiving their awards in the stage with the Honorable Justice and other distinguished members. So let me have the privilege of announcing the bronze or consolation award. The Bronze or Consolation Award goes to Mr. Bala Manigandan. His research was on the intimate partner violence which occurred in Chennai city. So he did, may I call upon Bala Manigandan? Please make it fast. So this award, this paper concentrated on various kinds of violences that happens among intimate partners, which is not known to other people. So he came out with a hidden fact on how violence could happen amidst them. So for his contribution on this particular topic, he is receiving the award, which is judged by the eminent judges. And the judges of the session were Professor Balraj Chauhan, Professor John Scott, and also the head of the Department of Criminology from KDU. So may I request the Honorable Judge and the eminent members to hand over the award certificate to Bala Manigandan. The second award, which is a silver award, silver medal, that goes to another important topic of research. And I know that it is very difficult to have such researchers in the field, but the candidate took the pain of doing all those things. And that particular research is focusing on child rape victims, which was reported in Chennai city. So may I call upon Ms. Shakira Banu, who is winning the silver medal for her research paper on child rape victims, causes and consequences, and also she studied the difficult part of the research is she interviewed the offenders who had been punished in the prison, and she found what are the major causes for them to commit such rape among the children who are below 18 years. The cases which she found was the least child who was raped was of 28 days, which was very disheartening, but she could try to come out with a lot of causes which made them to do that. Maybe in future it will be helpful for the criminal justice agencies to prevent using such researchers done by young researchers. And I appreciate Shakira Banu. May I kindly request the Honorable Justice and also the members to give her the certificate. And the final moment, which is again a greatest moment for a life of a young researcher. So I now call upon the gold medal winner of this ACS Code of Best Research Paper Award, Ms. Priyadarshini. She was from University of Madras, Department of Criminology. So she did her research on the problems, issues faced by the scheduled tribe in Ooty, which is one of the districts in Tamil Nadu. So the factors of what they were undergoing so long, even she herself is a resident of that particular district, but she herself was not knowing that such many victimizations are happening against them. So she took the pain of interviewing all those victims, went to their villages, went to their houses, and she spent a lot of hours to study on the victimization pattern and what are the available programs and what could be done along with the NGOs and the government. So for the excellent work of field research, whichever she has done, the jury has selected her for the gold medal of ACS Code of Best Research Paper Award. At this juncture, I would like to thank Professor Tilak Raj. This particular award was designed by him, his institution, Center of Excellence in Digital Forensics, needs a mention because this award is sponsored by his institution, Center of Excellence in Digital Forensics. The students will be receiving the medals and also the cash prize to their respective places after this conference. And that particular medal and the cash prize is sponsored by his institution every year. He being a topmost criminologist in Asia, he feels that the students should be encouraged, and being the president, he wanted to bring this into ACS. And thank you, sir, for this contribution to ACS and the young researchers. So I take this moment to call for papers for various awards for the next year, including the Distinguished Book Award. The Distinguished Book Award never actually discriminate whether it is young researcher or the senior researcher or whatever be it a lecturer or a senior professor. This award is meant for a book which could really make some contribution in this field. So for the Distinguished Book Award, for the Student Graduate Award, and for the Best Paper Award, and also for the Best Research Paper in the conference, I take this opportunity to invite all of you and to spread this word for the next conference to be held in Philippines also. Thank you for this opportunity and thank you for this moment. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Lordship.
Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to call upon the President of the Asian Criminological Society, Professor R. Tilagaraj to wrap up the conference.
Once again, I thank the Vice Chancellor of KD University, Professor Jiva, and his team for a very well organized, and it is a successful conference. Thank you so much on behalf of the Asian Criminological Society. And with this, we wrap up. I declare that the 14th Asian Criminology Conference 2023 has officially concluded. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
A new announcement is an opening of a new window with inspiration, patient hope, and prospects. Ladies and gentlemen, as we wait in anticipation, next on the agenda is the conference announcement that will be conducted by the chair of the Asian Criminology Society Conference 2024.
Thank you very much. Good morning. To our chief guest of these closing ceremonies, the Chief Justice of Sri Lanka, His Lordship. Good morning, sir. To our conference chairman, Professor Jevwa, and to our ACS president, President Tilagaraj, and to all the justices or judges of the Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka, to all the dignitaries, to the founding chairman and president of ACS, Professor Liu, and to all the men and women of the Asian Criminological Society, to all the attendees, students, and to everyone who are here in these closing ceremonies, good morning. I am Jerry Canyo, the National President of the Professional Criminologists Association of the Philippines, and we are so proud to host the next Asian Criminological Society by next year. That will be the 15th Criminology Congress in Asia. And our proposed date will be on July 4, 5, and 6, 2024 in Manila, Philippines. Just would like to give you a backgrounder of the host and the organizer of this event, which will be jointly organized and hosted by the Asian Criminological Society and the Professional Criminologists Association of the Philippines. The Professional Criminologists Association of the Philippines is an accredited professional association of criminologists in the Philippines, accredited by the Philippine government as early as 1988. We have penetrated and asked and request and enacted laws which will promote the practice of criminology profession in the Philippines. That is why, as an effect to our effort for the past decades, we have been recognized with the Professional Regulation Commission of the Philippines and also registered with the Bureau of Internal Revenue and the Securities and Exchange Commission of the Philippine government. By mandate of the Philippine law, we have a seat provided by the mandate of such law in the Commission on Higher Education of the Philippine government, sitting as a member of the technical panel for criminal justice education. We would like to inform everyone that the criminology education in the Philippines started as early as 1954, and we continue to make a significant contribution to the men and women of public safety, national security, and nation building in the Philippines. As I mentioned, we have also a seat in the Professional Regulation Commission, Council of Continuing Professional Development, as we continue to upskill, update, and upgrade our fellow criminologists in the practice of the profession. As you all know, criminology in the Philippines is a regulated profession. That is why we have a lot of criminologists who are in the law enforcement, in the different investigation bodies of the Philippine government. That includes even in the prosecution and in the judiciary. So to further give you our credibility to host the next event, we have this website aside from our physical office, and this is running as I present this morning. We have also invaded the landscape of the social media, particularly the Facebook, as there are now about 3 billion users in Facebook. And of course, we also have some other Facebook accounts, which then provides us a more faster and a more easier way of communicating among our members. And of course, we have also a registered email address. Our proposed 15th Asian Criminological Society Conference social media campaign platforms has already started as I speak before you this morning. We have already initiated the landscape of the website of the conference. This is the launch pad of the website conference. And this will be running as soon as this conference will end, and will continue to run and give updates and details to all the interested parties for this 15th Asian Criminological Society Conference. We also have created our Facebook. We feel very strongly that Facebook is a very strong social media platform for us to be able to touch, communicate, and inform all other criminologists in the world. These are just some of the few, as we also intend to touch base in Twitter and other Instagram accounts. We also created the YouTube channel for this conference, the 15th Asian Criminological Society Conference. All of these social media platforms are already in place for us to be able to host the 15th Asian Criminological Society Conference as we continue to foster and forge the kind of criminology that the Asia would like to see among the Asian practicing the criminology profession. We joined the call of our founding chairman and president, Professor Liu, in decolonizing criminology in Asia. We also join and manifest our support for the establishment and the recognition of Asian criminologists as they practice criminology profession, not only within the boundaries of Asia, but beyond. prospect venue of the conference, we would like to hold the conference in some of the beautiful hotels in Manila. We are looking at Manila Hotel, one of the oldest hotel in Manila. As early as 1901, it was already established. And of course, we would like to get some international hotel. These are just some of the hotels that would be prospects for the possible venue of our conference. Initial talks has been already initiated in these hotels for us to be able to get the best and the most practicable venue for the upcoming event. We will be looking for sponsors, and we will be asking some assistance from all our members if you can help us build some support from all other very generous charity organization or public or publishing. We would be glad to accommodate them. And of course, the fees of the conference will be relatively the same with all the fees that we have in this conference and in the past conferences. And of course, we will be looking at book publishing companies to be our prospect sponsors, but not limited to that, as this year's, next year's theme will focus on artificial intelligence and the forensics in the entire milieu of criminal justice and criminology. And of course, we'll be looking to some schools and industries who could be part of the sponsorship for us to defray the cost of the conference. Of course, the usual thing of the categorization of our delegates, we will be inviting students in the graduate program, in the master's degree or in the PhD degree, and the professors of the different colleges and universities. We will be also promoting a discounted rate of early registration. Of course, we welcome the non-member, and with the hope that after the conference, they'll become member, just like this conference here in Sri Lanka. And of course, new members, regular members, these will be the categories of our delegates and registrants for the upcoming conference. We will also be broadcasting our conference come 2024. We will be doing a live streaming over Facebook and YouTube channel of the conference for us also to inform not only those who are attending, but also those who are in the different parts of the globe who can access these various platforms in the social media. We will also have a daily, same day edit of photos and videos for us to refresh what transpired in a daily event of the conference. We will also be producing all the accepted research abstracts, and we will be publishing this in our Philippine Criminologist Journal. That includes also an online journal and all other journals for that matter. And of course, conference souvenir items, the bags and everything will also be provided by the host. And also a free city tour is also envisioned to be part of the conference, just for you to have a touch and idea of what Manila and the Philippines is all about. Allow me to share to you this video, just a short recap of what I have said.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ASEAN Criminological Society 11, National Conference.
Thank you very much. See you all there in Manila on 2024.
Thank you, sir. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. Ladies and gentlemen, to present tokens of appreciation to the keynote speaker and guest speaker of the day, let me invite with respect on stage the Secretary to the Ministry of Defense, General Kamal Gunaratna, accompanied by the Vice Chancellor, Rear Admiral Dhammika Kumara. Now it is my greatest privilege to honorably invite on stage our keynote speaker and chief guest, His Lordship, the Chief Justice of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, Honorable Jayantha Jayasuriya, President's Counsel, to accept the token of appreciation. Thank you, Your Lordship. Next, it is my privilege to respectfully invite on stage the founding president of Asian Criminological Society, Professor Jia Hong Liu, to accept the token of appreciation. Thank you, sir.
Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. An event of this nature doesn't happen overnight. The wheels keep rolling months before for wheels, flawless planning and coordination. To deliver the vote of thanks, let me kindly invite the chair of the 14th Asian Criminology Conference 2023, Deshabandhu Professor Jiva Nirayal.
Ayubowan, Vanakkam. His Lordship, Justice Jayantha Jayasuriya, President's Counsel, the Chief Justice of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, the Chief Guest and the Keynote Speaker of the closing ceremony of the 14th Asian Criminology Conference 2023 at General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University, Sri Lanka, the Honourable Supreme Court and Court of Appeal Justices, Sri Lanka, General Kamal Gunaratne, retired WWV, RWP, RSP, USP, NDC, PSC, Secretary, Ministry of Defence, Sri Lanka. Distinguished Professor Jenhon Liu, the guest speaker of today's event and the founding president of Asian Criminological Society. Rear Admiral Dhammika Kumara, VSV, USP, PSC, M, Maritime Policy, BSc, DS, Vice Chancellor, KDU, Professor Tilagaraj, President of the Asian Criminological Society, and the members of the Board of ACS. Senior Solicitor Generals of the Attorney General's Department of Sri Lanka, Senior Police Officers of Department of Police Sri Lanka, Senior Prison Officers of the Department of Prison Sri Lanka, Chairman of the Statutory Commissions and Authorities of Sri Lanka, esteemed invitees, authors, presenters, international and local participants, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Defense and Administration, KDU, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic, KDU, Deans, Center Directors, Academic, Administrative and Military Staff, KDU, scholars, students, ladies and gentlemen. As the Dean of the Faculty of Criminal Justice, KDU, the Chair of this conference, and the Vice President of the ACS, I am deeply honored and privileged to propose the vote of thanks at the 14th Asian Criminology Conference 2023, jointly organized by the Asian Criminological Society and General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University, Sri Lanka. The time has come to conclude a highly successful research conference which provides a robust platform to disseminate knowledge and share experiences on the variety of issues pertaining to crime and criminal justice in Asia and beyond. This conference also provides an opportunity for international and local criminologists to seek solutions to the increasing crime problem and related issues in the criminal justice system with the different professionals engaged in the justice system. ACS and the Faculty of Criminal Justice, KDU, this is the first ever criminal justice faculty in Sri Lanka, together took the lead in this endeavor by identifying crime and criminal justice, sustainable development, peace and security in Asia as the main theme, unfolding it under 15 sub-themes. Distinguished gathering, it is needless to state that peace and security of people in any given society is of utmost importance in sustainable development. The world community has given an important and prominent place to peace and security in the 17 main goals of sustainable development, which are targeted to achieve in 2030. Without having a strong criminal justice system that fairly addresses the crime issue with fruitful and meaningful solutions, we may not be able to reach goal number 16 of sustainable development. Approximately 133 academics, professionals, researchers, scholars from 15 countries, including Sri Lanka, presented their research findings at this conference. Eminent keynote speakers, guest speakers, and presenters offered thought-provoking concepts, philosophies, strategies, measures, and mechanisms that could be considered in ensuring sustainable peace and security of the people with no discrimination. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, I wish to extend my respectful gratitude to Honorable Justice, Your Lordship, Jayantha Jayasuriya, President Council, the Chief Justice of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, the chief guest of the closing ceremony of the 14th Criminology Conference 2023. We are honored to have Your Lordship here with us to conclude this memorable conference which marks the KDU's history. Also, Your Lordships as a keynote speaker of today's event and your insightful speech helps us to think in novel way to expand the horizon of criminal justice. I extend my humble gratitude to all of your Lordship from the Apex Courts in Sri Lanka for gracing this closing ceremony today. I take this opportunity to thank General Kamal Gunaratne, Secretary to the Ministry of Defence Sri Lanka, for gracing this event. I offer my sincere thanks to guest speakers today and the last 2 days of their insightful speeches, especially distinguished Professor Liu, former President of ACS, for the invaluable thoughts that you presented today at this audience. Next, I extend my gratitude to the special invitees for all 3 days of the conference. I thank Professor Tilagaraj, ACS President, and board members of their participation and support extended to this conference. My big thanks go to the authors and presenters for their time spent and pains taken to develop the papers and present their papers at this memorable conference. Without your contribution, of course, we may not be able to conclude such an academically enriched conference. I sincerely value the active participation with the fullest interaction of all the attendees throughout this conference. Next, I extend respectfully my gratitude to the captain of our KDU ship. He is none other than the Vice Chancellor of KDU. Dear Sir, your directions, guidance, and support in all relevant aspects undoubtedly helped to conclude the 14th Asian Criminology Conference 2023 with a great success. Thank you very much, sir. I respectfully pay our gratitude to our 2 Deputy Vice Chancellors of KDU, especially the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Defense and Administration for the guidance and support given and for being with us in organizing this conference, sir. Your leadership in organizing this conference helped immensely in its successful completion. Thank you, sir. I thank the military staff of the KDU for their dedication in organizing this conference. Without your support, this task would still be a dream. Next, my big thanks goes to the staff of IT Center of KDU for their invaluable support extended. The administrative staff and all other staff members, I thank you for your prompt support given us when it is required. Thank you very much. I thank the main organizing committee, presidents of subcommittees, and members of all the committees for your unmeasurable support extended in organizing this remarkable conference. I salute the Secretariat and the academics who assisted the Secretariat. This conference is the culmination of your hard work and the dedication. Again, I salute you. I take this opportunity to thank the academic staff, administrative staff, and support staff, and my dear students of the energetic Faculty of Criminal Justice for their fullest support and extended in organizing this conference. Again, I would like to thank you as the Dean of the Faculty of Criminal Justice. I thank all those who supported even the day that we have started to organize this conference. Sometimes I may not be able to call you by name, but I apologize for that. While apologizing, I thank all those names could not be mentioned, but who contributed to the successful of this conference. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, this conference has been a remarkable journey filled with knowledge sharing, collaboration, and inspiration. I encourage you all to carry the learnings and connections made here into your respective fields and continue to push the boundaries of knowledge and innovation. I hope you will take all the sweet memories with you that you experienced during your stay in this beautiful country, Sri Lanka. Let's look forward to more groundbreaking conference in the future. Once again, thank you very much all for your unwavering support and participation. Thank you very much, and cheers for the 14th Asian Criminology Conference 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam.
All good things come to an end, but the memories we take will remain forever as we reflect upon the outcomes of the conference in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, as the agenda falls to the very last page, this marks the conclusion of the 14th Asian Criminology Conference 2023, jointly organized by the Asian Criminological Society and the Faculty of Criminal Justice of General Sir John Kotelawala Defence University under the theme Crime and Criminal Justice, Sustainable Development, Peace and Security in Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, to conclude the closing ceremony of the 14th Asian Criminology Conference 2023 in Colombo, Sri Lanka, please rise for the national anthem.
Sri Lanka, Namo, 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 Mata.
Ladies and gentlemen, now the following distinguished guests are honorably invited for the official photograph in 2 sessions. Session 1, Honorable Justice, His Lordship Jayanta Jayasuriya, Vice Chancellor Rear Admiral Dhammika Kumara, Secretary Defense General Kamal Gunaratna, President of the Asian Criminological Society, Professor R. Thilagaraj, Distinguished Professor John Braithwaite, Distinguished Professor Jia Hong Liu, Judge of the Supreme Court, Honorable Justice, His Lordship Yasantha Kodagoda, President's Counsel, Judge of the Supreme Court, Honorable Justice, His Lordship Achala Vinnakpulli, Supreme Court Judge, Honorable Justice Her Ladyship Kumudini Vikramasinghe, President of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Justice His Lordship Bandula Karunaratna, President's Counsel, Dean Faculty of Criminal Justice, and members of the Asian Criminological Society. Also